Welcome back to So Bad It's Good, presented by Betches Media. Today we are talking to somebody that I've wanted to talk to for a year now. Now, Maritza works on my show, and she said a year ago, you need to go follow this person. She is amazing. I love everything that she's doing. And so I went there and I followed her, and then Maritza will give me YouTube links. Watch this, watch this. Our next guest is, she's the queen of confidence. Listen, she has so much going that I don't even know how she does it. She is doing sold out shows. She just do 2 sold out shows in New York. The next show comes up this next week, which you all got to go buy tickets for at the Chelsea Music Hall. But that is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. She just launched SFKTV, which is a whole thing we're going to talk about, which actually has new episodes on Sunday. She also has the Let's Fucking Date card set that showed up on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last night. She is in everything right now. I only have limited time, so I'm going to hop right in. Serena fucking Kerrigan, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. What an introduction. I'm like, damn, I really need a nap.
Well, Serena, I could go longer, but I knew we have limited time. But how the hell do you do all of this?
I can sleep when I'm dead.
Okay, that's great advice, guys. Sleep when you're dead, and you will be able to do as much as Serena.
And surround yourself with great people. Learn how to delegate. I'm a big delegator. I'm not micromanager. And just do it for the plot.
Do it for the plot, which is something that you created, which everybody says. And I didn't even know that came from you, because all of the girls in my life started saying, do it for the plot, or they would post, do it for the plot. That is a Serena Kerrigan phrase. That's amazing.
The other day, someone made like a viral TikTok that was like the Gen Z term. And I was like, absolutely, it's a Gen Z term, but it was coined by a millennial. Just say.
Yeah. Score one for the millennials. Finally, we have something.
We needed it.
Could you imagine? It seems like you are the queen of confidence. Has that happened from like even at a young age? Were you always like this, or is this something you discovered over the years?
I think that we're all born with confidence, but after a certain age, we begin to be like infected by society and the way that we think we should be, and we don't feel good enough. And so what I did when I was 18 was I created this persona that I could just tap into. She's Serena fucking Kerrigan. She's a baddie. She's just like larger than life persona, kind of like a Lady Gaga or a Sasha Fierce. And I kept tapping into her whenever I felt down. And then eventually I became the queen of confidence. And so if anyone's listening and needs that, advice to feel confident, I would say really just like create this persona and character that you can kind of step into. It's like your superhero or Superman mask, if you will.
Well, I think this message that you present means so much to women, but I have to say, as a guy, I have such low self-esteem and confidence. And it's one of those things that like, we all need these messages. We all need the kind of confidence that you exude, because you just kind of light up. I've been watching interviews with you for the last couple of days, and you just shine. And I just think that's such an impressive feat. But what are the pitfalls for the people that you deal with? Like, how do we get past that hump of creating a persona and actually gaining confidence little by little?
I think really what the persona was for me was a dialogue. So I would be like, you're Serena fucking Kerrigan. Like, let's go. Right. And so really what that was me saying it to myself out loud. Like I was hyping up my best friend. Like you would with anyone you love in your life, you're going to nurture them. You're going to lift them up. You're going to verbally tell them how great they are, especially if they're down. I think that we don't do that with ourselves. We're very negative and self-critical. So what this persona was, it's not just about being a character, although that's super fun, but it's really about speaking out loud to yourself and really like getting real in front of the mirror, making eye contact and really lifting yourself up when you're having a bad day. I remove any kind of negative words about myself. I'm allowed a feeling like I feel shitty because, feelings pass and that's okay. But if you say I am not a good person, I'm ugly or whatever, then suddenly you're literally writing the plot of your life, right? And you are the writer, producer, and star of your life. So you have to act accordingly.
It's so hard though, because some of us have decades of negative self-talk that we have to combat. And it's interesting. It's one of those things. It's almost like going to the gym of having to work this in this kind of mind frame every day. And it feels unnatural at first.
100%, but that means it's working, right? Like when you do ab crunches at the gym, like it hurts and it's like disgusting and you hate it, but you're like, well, obviously something is changing in my body. I think that's growth in general. Growth is not supposed to feel amazing. It's just like, it just feels like growth. And if you can look in the mirror and just make eye contact with yourself, it will change your life. Like truly, if you can say, I love you in the mirror and make full eye contact with yourself, it just changes everything, your perception of self around others. It's remarkable.
Follow-up question. What are ab crunches? I've not heard of those or done
Like
those.
abs.
I'm joking.
I've never done them either, but I heard they hurt. I heard they hurt.
So when you have this platform, where are you in a place where you're choosing what to do with it? Because SFKTV is something that just launched. Can you explain to me what that is? Because I was watching a video where you had even put this on a vision board, I think, a long time ago.
Yes. Yeah, that was crazy. And I definitely recommend people to put any dreams or aspirations on a vision board. It's so, so helpful because once you can visualize your life, then you can make anything happen. I think for SFK TV was I realized that creators are the future of television and entertainment and education. And I wanted to create really like incredible high premiums long form content. And I wanted to put it behind a paywall the same way that you're paying a premium for a Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, you're going to be paying a premium for SFK TV. And this is not just, entertainment, empowerment, education. It's also a community of people in this like very sexy format. And every week we release episodes. We are this Sunday at 8 p.m., which I also like to do the Sundays at 8 p.m. because we want a ritual, right? Like Sunday Scaries. This Sunday at 8 p.m., the episode that's dropping is the making of my card game, LFG. This is the newest one. See how pretty it's with gold.
That looks beautiful.
Is the fourth one in the installment of my card games. And this one is it's the golden ticket to going out. If you have this in your bag, you will feel confident no matter what. No awkward silences. If you go to, to a party where you don't know anyone, pull this out. You're Gucci. You're good. And you can play with any friends, platonically, family members. Great for Thanksgiving. But my episode of SFK TV on Sunday is all about the making of this card game because I started this business in the pandemic, 2020 lockdown in my apartment, and now it's a $1.4 million business. So it goes to show you that you could do anything you want in your life. You just have to visualize it and say it out loud.
Is that card deck open? Can you pull a card?
Yeah, absolutely. You want me to pull a card?
Yeah, pull a card. Let's see what's going on.
Here we go.
I want to see what I'm going to do at Thanksgiving this week. I want to see, or next week.
Okay. What's a gift as a child? What's a gift you wanted as a child, but you never got?
The power of flights. I wanted to fly like Superman. I never got it yet.
Okay. Wow. I hope you get that one day.
What was yours?
A Juicy Couture sidekick. Remember those sidekick phones? There was a Juicy Couture one that was pink and beautiful. I really, really wanted it. Should we do one more?
Yeah, do more. This is great.
Okay, here we go. Tell me the story behind your middle name.
Oh, Kyler. My middle name is Kyler, and it's my great-great-grandfather's first name. And I loved it. And for a long time, I wanted to change my name to Kyler Bailey, not Ryan Bailey, because I thought everybody loved the name Kyler. And I was like, I've never got this kind of attention before. I love my middle name.
So what happened?
Just nothing. SAG wouldn't let me change it. Screen Actors Guild.
Fair enough. And the strike's over, baby. So we good. We're listening. Listening. I changed my middle name to fucking, and it was the best decision I've ever made in my life. So that's that.
You really did that, right?
I really did that. Yep. And now it's a part of every brand of mine and everything. So it was a good choice.
It's a very
thrilled about it in the beginning.
When you go on her Instagram, you guys are going to provide all the information and links. It looks like even the SFK TV videos, it looks like David Fincher directed. I mean, it's so beautiful, like the visualization. How do you even start to create something in your mind and then express that to other people of the images you're trying to capture? Because you're coming off like a supermodel in this, like you're crawling over the TV. It's like wild.
I think I just love creativity. Like I love photo shoots. I love like thinking of a concept. When I thought of SFK TV, it took me a while. Like I didn't know what to call it at first. There was a lot of names that we were tossing around. I was thinking BTS SFK, like behind the scenes, but then we thought of BTS, the band, and like with SEO on Google, like would people get confused? Would they be able to find it like that? And then I kept thinking like, what is this? What's the intention behind it? And I'm like, oh, it's television because this is the future of television, right? Like creators are the future. Like we watch creators all the time, even if we have a show on, a very high premium show on our TV. So then I thought about futuristic, and that's how I leaned into this futurism element that you're seeing in the creative direction and content. And so it's like really kind of just like thinking of what is an intention behind something and how can you express that intention? Like what are cool visual cues that would make people feel excited? So it's kind of like my creative process, but I just had so much fun doing it. Like I would do that. I would be on a photo shoot for the rest of my life if I could.
I mean, but it's like, honestly, you guys look at this stuff. It's like, is this the people that directed Avatar? I mean, it's like
Thank you.
wild, the
Hey,
visualizations.
I'm saying this first, Ryan Kyler. Okay, so using your middle name here, and you can you're going to post this when it happens. I'm going to
Yes.
win an Academy Award for directing and writing, and then and you're going to say you saw it first. You said that you predicted it first.
Oh, I was hoping that you were about to say you were going to thank me during the speech, and I was like, wow, this is amazing for me.
You know what?
This
what,
is
Kyler,
huge.
I'm just like Kyler said it, and everyone's like,
Yes,
who?
exactly. So we've got SFKTV, which you guys need to subscribe to, but then how does that translate to your live shows? Because you've just started doing those over the last year or so. You just sold out 2. You're doing this other one. What is your live show all about? How do you translate Serena fucking Kerrigan on stage?
Absolutely. So I've done a series of different live shows. This one is different than the other ones I've done before. I've actually already performed 11 in total. I love live touring. The one I did before was called Do It for the Plot, and it was very much about my life and the mistakes I've made and building confidence, etc. This one is very peeled back. It's very to connect with people, for people to connect with one another. I think that the importance of community is just so important. People want to know how to make friends. They want to feel supported if they're going through a breakup or if they don't know how to quit their job. So SFK kind of gets transformed into this thing where in past shows, I was the main character. This show, I make the audience the main character. They get on stage, they ask questions, they support one another and tell stories. And I think that that's so special that it's kind of passing off the baton to them so they can become the queen of confidence.
What's the experience, though, doing this live and then meeting the fans afterwards or the people that follow you? Is that such a powerful experience for you because they get to tell you the stories of how you inspired them?
One woman in the first show was like, I don't really have a question, but I just wanted to tell you that, I've been dealing with cancer for the past years and you saved my life. You made me feel like I wasn't alone. And it was, I started tearing up. We hugged. I have her number now. We're texting. Her name's Allison. She's beautiful and she's healthy, thank God. But it's more just it's incredible how it's so easy to compare yourself, right? It's so easy to think about what you don't have. I don't have these followers. I wasn't invited to that trip. I don't have this television show. You're always looking. If you look around, you're going to lose. Comparison, you're just going to lose that game. And so then it's being there in that room. It's wow, look at what I've accomplished. That moment, that person, what I helped her with her life is so much more significant than a follower count, to be honest. It's about the quality of who follows you and the impact that you're making, in their life. So it's incredible. It's an incredible experience. And we had tickets and it's such a vibe. Chelsea Music Hall, November 15th, 8 p.m. Come. It's affordable. Bring your friends, drinks. It's good energy in there.
Well, also, it's an experience that you could go to by yourself and make friends. It's one of those kind of things.
No, and literally what I asked was who's here alone? So many people literally were screaming, but they already sat next to other people that came alone. So that's the energy I want to put because that's very much the SFK way. She shows up alone, maybe with her card game, maybe not, but she has that confidence because when you show up alone, you're I'm the shit. Why not? Why wouldn't anyone want to talk to me? Then suddenly that's the energy you're radiating. And then people are attracted to that vibe, right? They want to be around someone who's having a great time. So that's the energy.
Listen, I've only talked to you for 15 minutes and I feel like I've had a cup of coffee. So this is good. It's the good energy. What is the most common issue you think women are dealing with these days when you meet them? What's the thing that you're noticing in 2023 that women are still kind of really facing on a day-to-day basis?
It's really interesting because you would think that we've made a lot of progress as a society, and we absolutely have. But it really struck me how many women felt rejected, dejected, really depressed or upset that they didn't have a boyfriend. That it took me aback. That they felt that their worth was so tied to being in a relationship with a significant other. And I think that partly has to do with social media and how you're looking around, you're seeing people get engaged and married and babies, if you don't have that partnership, it just you feel you're behind. And that same thing can apply with so many other things, work included, absolutely, or even making friends. I think a lot of women talked about the difficulty of making friends, but it just took me by surprise how many people they felt something was wrong with them because they haven't found their person. And to that I said that is one, or that they just felt it would never happen for them. And I said that is also just a result of the patriarchy and how there's this concept of like scarcity and like there's not enough good men in New York or in anywhere, and like you have to rush to find them and you're being too picky and you should just settle down. That whole idea is bullshit, and I reject that. And I think like when you're ready, you will have the opportunity. When you are ready for anything in your life, if it's meant for you, it will be there. And there's so many times where like, I thought the guy was the one and he was not. And I look back, I'm like, thank God, because that guy was not it, right? He wasn't even cute, but like, he didn't even treat me well. So it's like, or a job opportunity, like that didn't work out. Well, thank goodness, because then I wouldn't have moved. And if I did move, so there's always that. And I really like try to say rejection is redirection. You're constantly being redirected in your life, and never settle for anything less than a fuck yes. Very important.
I love all of that. And speaking of dating, I watched a video of you meeting on a podcast your current boyfriend Felix, and I felt like I was watching. I was like, should I even be here? Because immediately you guys were all like, kind of, there was like this subtle flirtation from the jump. But you didn't know him before that podcast, right?
No. And so basically the clip is me saying on the podcast, we just met that day and I'm on his podcast and I go, yeah, in 2 years, like I'll have a boyfriend. And he's like, yeah, where are you going to meet this guy? And I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll bring him to the podcast. And he was like, you should. And it's like, what? And it's gone super viral because people are like, oh, they definitely knew each other before. Like when I say I had no idea, I didn't even like, I had more makeup on for this podcast than I did for that one. I didn't give a fuck. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, wait, Serena, that's why I thought you guys did know each other, because from the jump, you weren't like all like gussied up, and you were kind of like, it was like a familiarity that I was like, oh, they must be friends from even before this, because you were all like, you both were like super relaxed. It was very wild. Relaxed.
That's the thing. And that's a really good, I hope that people take away, like when you meet your person, you should feel very relaxed, safe, calm. And it's just so funny looking at that clip because everyone's like, he knew that you were going to be his girlfriend. I'm like, I had literally no idea, like not even a clue. I was just being cheeky and fun. But also I was not scared to say what I wanted. And I was like, I will be in a relationship. Like, I just like, that is something that it's not, I want to be, it's like, I will be. And I think that that is an important thing to take away.
What is SFK like in a relationship? What are you learning from this relationship? Because that's kind of the next frontier in Queen of Confidence, in a sense.
I know.
What are you learning?
Well, I was so afraid when I began the relationship, we hard launched on Instagram and everything, that I was like, what is my identity going to be? Like, I was the plot girl that like, did shit for the plot and like, got drunk and like had all these stories. And I think that it's been a very natural progression in the sense of like, I'm older, I'm almost 30. And like, not almost like it's in a while, but still it's gonna soon. And it's about like the maturity and also realizing that, yes, I'm growing so much from the relationship. I mean, when you're in a relationship with someone, they hold up a mirror to who you are. And even though I'm always in front of the mirror and I love looking at myself in the mirror, it's a different kind of mirror. You know what I mean? And so I feel like it's just been incredible to have someone support me. And I think I was always told you're too intimidating. A guy's gonna be afraid. Bullshit. It's like you should never have to change yourself, and also you should feel safe being yourself. And that person's gonna love you for everything, even the things that you are embarrassed or ashamed about. Like they're gonna love it even more, which is crazy, but it's true. And so never settle. And if you're feeling anxious and if you're screenshotting a text, not a good sign. It should feel really relaxed and easy from the jump.
Well, you guys look very relaxed and easy from the jump in that interview, but how is that work-life balance? Because you seem like somebody that's so zeroed in on their goals and their dreams. And also your work is important to a lot of other people. So like you said, like you don't want it to affect the plot in a bad way. I mean, how do you balance that? It's
interesting. I feel like I actually, and I'm reflecting with you on this podcast because it feels a little like a therapy session too.
Sorry.
The best way. Don't apologize. This is great. I think it's such a good question. I actually think that being in the relationship. Okay, so I always used to say, and I think it was self-defense, where I was like, I can't be in a relationship because I'm a career-focused person, and like I can't possibly. That's bullshit. Because if you look at like every president ever, they've always had a significant other. Not to say that that's the bar, but it's like people in like the most intense jobs have a partner. Like that's great because they can really guide you and gear you and whatever. And I realized that because I've gotten in this relationship, I actually am more focused on my career, if anything, because I'm not wasting time going out as much. Not that that's bad. I love going out, but I'm not searching for something because a place of my life is like in this stillness, calmness, like I feel secure. Then I can really put my energy and focus into something else. And that has like been such a blessing. So like, he's just as ambitious as I am. I could never date someone who's not. We're actually building a couple businesses together that we're really about. like some side things. Cause like, why not? Cause we're always ideating. But you know, you need to be like the women that are listening to me, the heterosexual women, like you need to be with a man that is like going to just celebrate you and be so proud and like post every fucking product that you have on their story. Cause literally he does it without even me asking, you know, like you want someone who wants to win with you, period.
Yeah.
So
that's the joy of being in a relationship, right?
Yes.
I was thinking about failure last night. I was watching some of your stuff and I was thinking about failure. And I was thinking about like, I was wondering, because, you know, I've noticed, obviously, unfortunately, the failures in our life leads us to greater successes in the end. And I was thinking, do you have failures in your life? What's a big failure for you that you can even recall that shot you into the next level? Because I was like, I wonder if she's ever really failed because it seems like you win so much.
Oh my God, that's really kind. And it means the branding is really strong. I mean, I actually, pre-pandemic, I was working in a media company, like Betches, Refinery 29, and I was ready to leave. And I auditioned for a hosting job at E! Okay. And I flew out to LA for this audition, and I was told to read a teleprompter. I'd never really done that. I could barely read. Mind you, I was an English major at Duke, so like I can read. I could not read that day. And I boofed it. Like I bombed that audition. I remember I have a photo of me sobbing. And I thought that this was my one ticket out of that company that I'd been working at.
Yeah.
I wanted to like that next separate, and I messed up and like career done. Pandemic happens. That show ended up getting canceled. I stayed in New York, built my empire. Everything flourished. And I think it's like, thank goodness I bombed that audition, because I would have been stuck in LA during the pandemic, not knowing anyone. Well, you know, but like, that's an example of what I saw as failure, but really as like, it wasn't meant to be. Another example that just happened today was that we had a live show a couple weeks ago, and there was footage, and the footage got deleted. And this could have been something that, right, like your face, like this could have been something, oh my God, like life ruined. And I go, the world just, I guess, wasn't meant to see that show, and done. And you move on, because you can't get upset about what you can't control. Like you can for like 24 hours, you can spiral a little bit. But like, I have too much to do. So like, if I get stressed about, I'm like, it's gone. Like there's nothing, me getting upset more isn't going to change the fact that it's gone. What we can do is like, what's the lesson here? We got to grab the footage the second it's, you know, recorded, boom, dump it somewhere, back it up. Great. Like these are the lessons, but like that's just an example of like, you just have to say, there's a lesson here. What is it? Cool. Moving on to the next thing.
How many times do you get asked to be people's life coach? Because I'm just like, how much? I mean, like, come on, we need little Serena Kerrigans on our shoulder to like just live with us and walk through life with us. How do we take you with you? How do we take us with you on a daily basis?
Okay, so 1, this. 2,
the cards,
the card game. 1, 2, SFKTV, because I do a lot of this kind of content and inspirational, and we touch on work, personal, confidence, dating, all on sfktv.com. And it's $6.90 a month, $69. Wink.
That's really reasonable.
Your coffee at Blank Street or Starbucks is $7 or more. Like, please.
It's more. Yeah.
Or it's $69 a year, which is like totally doable. If you want constant content every single week, we are busting our ass to make really premium level long form. So that's another way you can have me all the time. Or you can, I mean, I used to do this, and we're going to be offering this soon at some point, I think, fingers crossed, but I used to confidence coach during the pandemic on Zoom, you know, and I really want to get back into it. I love it. But that's a perk that will be for SFKTV users only. So you better get on it.
Is there a chance, because this is kind of like your own network, that you'll actually have other shows even not involving you on your network eventually on SFKTV?
Are you asking me for a job?
I actually am, yes.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I was like, where?
We would absolutely would love to roll out someday. So that's fantastic, 100%. So we'll be in touch.
I know you just have a couple minutes, but I wanted to ask you, visualization, vision boards, what's next? Because in my head, I'm like, where's the fucking book? Where's the where's the album? Like, what is next? Like, what are we dreaming of as the next frontier? Because we are launching all of this. It's starting to go smoothly. It's already building this huge audience, but what is next? Because you seem like you have like probably 3 steps ahead planned at all times.
Oh, absolutely. I had a meeting with my book agent this morning. So beautiful right there. Working on the proposal, that's happening 100%. Working on the live show I'm doing next week. But beyond that, vision boarding, I do a vision board every Christmas day. That's a tradition I made up because I didn't really like have much to do on Christmas, even though I celebrate. But like after a certain time, you're like, what do we do? Vision board is my Christmas Day plan. This year, directing a Super Bowl commercial happening. Yeah. I mean, I don't know when or how.
No, but that's amazing. That's so specific. I love the specificity on that.
Get specific. Met Gala, obviously, cover of Vogue, duh. But what else? Like, I really want to like creative direct for a brand. I really want to direct an ad. I'm obsessed with that. Write and direct. I'm writing my first feature. I just need to clone myself. If you can help me clone myself, then we're going to be good. You know what I mean?
We're doing SFKTV cloning in 2025. Elon Musk is heading it up. It's going to be wild. Who do you look up to? Who are your heroes that you look up to and look for guidance?
My Roman empire is Taylor Swift and Beyonce. I would say those two. I just like, it's all about work ethic. It's all about drilling, grinding, and surrounding and being nice. I think that people really forget like how being nice is free and goes such a long way. Last night, I actually met Alexandra Cooper of Call Her Daddy, and I was
Call Her Daddy. Yeah, I saw you were at the show.
Yeah, I was just like beside myself, and I ended up meeting her in person. I gave her Let's Fucking Fuck the card game, obviously very on brand for her, and I was taken aback by how personable and wonderful she was. And it's like, duh, but it's at the same time, it's like, we've met, obviously, between the both of us, a lot of people who aren't nice. And so when someone's so nice and genuine takes the time to meet you, you're kind of like, wow, I see why you're at the position that you're at, right? Because really, like, people want to work with nice people. It's like that fucking simple, you know?
And you want to leave them with a good experience where they said, like, that person helped my day. They didn't hurt my day.
Right. And like we spend the majority of our lives working. So you might as well do what you love and work with people that make it fun.
Got it. Well, Serena fucking Kerrigan, this went way too quickly. You have a hard out, but I hope this was good enough that you'll come back again because I have a whole list of other questions for you. Because really, I'm so blessed that Maritza turned me on to you because I really think this is such a great message, and I have primarily a female audience. So you guys, if you don't know her, which you probably already do, get to know her. Get this card game. I'm going to put all the information. Go see her live shows. SFKTV, $6.99. That is insanely cheap for like weekly content. I'm telling you, I know Patreon. This is way better than that. But what a joy to talk to you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the message that you put out there because it really does seem to help a great deal of people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your support. And I will be back with my Oscar in tow.
Wait, well, okay, perfect. Yeah. Can I be in the Super Bowl commercial too? That would be amazing.
Absolutely. Manifest. Put on your vision board, Kyler.
I'm doing it Christmas Day. Thank you so much, Serena Kerrigan.
Thank you, Ryan.